Hello everyone, it's Ali back here, and I welcome you in the second episode of second season of my stream. And we are gonna review what is the stream about as usual. Then we will review our previous episode, and we will plan and I'll introduce you the current one. So, as you may all remember, and the ones who don't, please welcome to my stream. What you can see on the screen is basically the aberration system for the stream that I'm using, basically just to describe all the content of it, what we've done so far, what we are working on right now. To be honest, it wasn't updated since the previous um, stream because I spent many time on other how to say operations, I would say, around the streams, but all will be good. I'll update all of that, so don't worry. And meanwhile, you can always go back to the previous episode and watch it on YouTube, and you can actually even push it to Gemini and ask it to give you an overview of what happened. This is what I'm actually doing like all the time with all my episodes. So what is stream framework? Stream framework is basically the repository which grabs, as I told you, everything, what's the structure of the stream. Basically, the stream is structured as like a series, it has seasons and episodes, and each season represents a long-running project or app that we are going to be building together, and each episode is an individual stream like this one. And we started with the season 1, which was called the Stream Saga, where we build the application that you see right now on your screen, which allows streamers like I am to communicate with their audience and propose some topics and create some topics and get proposals for these topics from the audience, and the audience also can vote on these proposals like this. And this is a way basically to get the user engagement and to help streamers connect with their viewers and build together and share thoughts and vote and everything like that. So what we also have here is the framework for the development. These are reusable methodologies and checklists for the approaches to particular topics like architecture design, development practices, DevOps, DeFi, and so on and so on. I initially started it like an initiative to just share my best practices that I use on a daily basis here. It's not complete yet. Like, let's just not focus on them right now. They're gonna be here. I'm gonna be working on them later. I'm gonna be updating them more, but not now. So we started the season 2 last Thursday, and season 2 is basically all about the Polymarket. And what we did at the beginning is we just discussed what Polymarket is, what you can and cannot do there. We read the documentation, the user guide, basically the whole of it. We understood what is it, what everything means, and we even placed a bet. I deposited $5 and lost 12 cents immediately. So this is how trading works. You always lose. I'm kidding. Not always, but yeah. You gotta take care, understand what you're doing. So yes, so basically we went through all the user guide and user documentation. We placed bets, which I call orders. We placed orders and expected orders. We expected to pay the result, and we tested all that. And what I want to focus on today is the most important and interesting part, the documentation for developers. I don't know how long it will take us to read through all of these. As usual in technical documentation, there is mostly there are many places where just some structures are explained and so on, so probably we will save some time on that, but probably not. We will deeply dive into everything they provide here. As I told you before, I really like to read documentation and understand the project fully before I proceed doing with that anything. and this just helps to properly think upfront the architectures you're gonna be using, the approaches and stuff like that. And yeah, and at the end we will see, like as usual, I'm gonna have this stream from 1.5 hour to 2 hours long, and we will see what we'll manage by this time. And if there gonna be anything left, we might even try to code something, or like do some, I don't know, let's see what the time will allow us, because as you see, usually stuff takes much longer time that I usually expect at the beginning. So this is that's the way it is, and we are gonna just follow that. You have no other choice. So let's begin with the documentation. I'm gonna close the stream saga and the framework to not in distract us. And yeah, let's dive into the documentation right away. So the developer's quick start section of documentation will provide all the essential resources to help you perform basic trading actions on the Polymarket platform. If you're just getting started, you're in the right place. Yes, everything you need. Okay, not sure what to build next. Get inspired. This is what somewhere out of the scope. First order. Not sure what to build next. Get inspired by checking real examples from other developers. Yeah, we are gonna do that later, I think. These are the real apps as far as I understand. So why don't we... Oh my god. Okay. Polyfund. So these are basically some apps that are built on top of Polymarket, since Polymarket is a basically DeFi. We can say that, right? It's a DeFi and DeFi block basically. So you can like in general in crypto, most of the projects are built in a way that they are composable with each other. So you can look at this like at Lego blocks, basically, that one project can be built on top of another, and then the third one can be built on top of these two, and they even don't have to like think about that up front. The only thing they need to think about is to have properly defined documentation, not necessarily documentation, but interfaces. Documentations would be good, but this is actually a rare thing in Web3. Most of the time you just spend your time reverse engineering stuff, and we are gonna be doing that a lot, believe me. And yeah, it just needs to be like composable up front. If you introduce your custom standards, if you introduce I don't know, some points of centralization which makes impossible to fully cooperate like on chain or via, I don't know, APIs, then it just adds additional friction to your project, which you will not be able to compose with the others, and you will just be left behind, and or something like that. Like, unless of course you are self-sufficient by itself. But this, and I think at some point we will necessarily need the composability anyway. The more composable you are, the more liquidity you can bring to your project, and so on and so on. So yeah, so this, as far as I understand, like I've never seen any of those, and I think it just projects that were built same team, the projects that were built on top of Polymarket. And I will show you actually something else. I don't know if I've shown you that already, but there is another app which is built on top of Polygon, which is called Pentagon Pizza Index. You know that already, but what they did is they combined, they put all the events. There is some snowball game going on here. So they basically put some events from the Polygon on the map, and this is just more easily to browse. Like, take a look what we have here. Nothing in Czech Republic. Maybe something our Neighbors. Oh my god. No. I'll wait. Yeah, so some politics votes mostly, I guess. Hope they're gonna be more like so. Yeah. So basically, we just looked at what could potentially be built on top of Polygon. Who knows? Maybe one day it's gonna be us building something on top of that. Um, I don't mind. I don't mind, but we need to understand what, and like building a product as we already discussed, and a completely different thing from building whatever else. Product development is another science, and what I want to focus on right now is on something that's standalone that could be run by yourself, and that that could I don't know, like doesn't have any users. You are the only user. You're building for yourself. Like this is my idea and goal for now. So let's go ahead and go to the your first order page. Um, and let's see what we have here. Okay, placing your first order using one of our two clients is relatively straightforward. Throws the Python lib and the TypeScript lib. Of course, we're gonna be using the TypeScript one. I am not big fan of Python unless like strictly necessary. Let's see. So there is a GitHub. Looking at the releases, it seems that it's being quite oftenly updated, and the major version of their API changed recently. This is a cool thing that probably we just got some cool new things, or maybe we will just be catching new bugs. We will see. Yeah. So all right, we have the GitHub here, and let's switch here to the TypeScript. You can use whatever you want, but like I'm working with Node.js and TypeScript throughout its whole life, and I'm gonna choose that. After installing one of those, you'll be able to run the code below. Take time to fill in the constants. Okay. So here are some constants. Let's see this. AI. Can we make it more like this? So, we need to install this client. We need to install these adders. Adders is for those who don't know, is basically a library that allows you to act as a Web3 provider. A Web3 provider is basically anything that is connected to the RPC, to some node on the blockchain, and but also potentially have a private key like a wallet, or it could be just a read-only instance, and you need that. Here you can see we create it creates the instance of a wallet basically. So this is your private key. Of course, you never do this like that, at least abstracted to .env variables, or better something else, which actually is also an interesting topic we might cover in the future. So what they have here is they have this host connected. Funder is not this address. This is the address listed below your profile picture when using the Polymarket site. Okay. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, so this address. So this is it. It was created 3 days ago when we were doing our last stream, and it has our balance here. So okay, this explains directly what happened last time. You remember I was telling you that I don't see where did the money go, and that it might be centralized, and probably it is. I'm not sure yet, but as you can see, the transfer went through after we deposited, so it was not atomic. And since it was not atomic, it should be secured either by some cryptography or game theory, or it's just not secured at all. Let's take a look. Let me copy our address so we can browse our transactions and see. So if you don't understand like something that I'm doing, please always reach out, and I will explain in details. And yeah, if you're watching the recording, you can always write a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to put likes, and of course write your comments, write your questions. I'm big fan of answering questions. I will be really happy to answer any of your questions, or I will just redirect you to Google and AI, because I'm not Google. And yeah, so let's take a look. You remember we sent 5 point something USD. It was a block 1523, and our, yeah, let's take a look first at the deployment transaction. Our safe, so this is basically a Gnosis Safe proxy as far as I see. Yeah, this is really cool. I'll explain you how it works later. So we can actually take a look inside. So our safe, our wallet, Polymarket wallet, was deployed at the block 9979, and we made a deposit at, wait, where is it? Here. Okay, so we had our wallet deployed actually before we funded it. That's interesting. Let me take a look. Yeah, so it happened like 1 hour before that, or like 50 minutes. I don't remember exactly. That more likely it happened when we just connected our wallet. More likely that's the way it works. And this makes sense because Polygon transactions are super cheap. You can see like they only spent like less than a cent, like it's a 1/5 of a cent to deploy a user wallet, which is nothing for a company like them, of course, especially because they make a shit ton of money. And yes, let's take a look deeper. So basically, they just deployed that when once I was logged in. Then later they sent the funds. So as you can see, it happened like 3 blocks afterwards. So there was a block 1523, and they funded our wallet with 1526. So basically three blocks passed. And to be honest, I'm not sure whether it was done like in a decentralized way. We will figure out later. Maybe we'll see. If it's like too deep to go into, of course, here I'm not doing the reverse engineering of Polymarket. Actually, this is a really cool idea. And if you want to see that, please go to streamsaga.space and propose, I don't know, some new topics or new ideas. Okay, season 2 ideas should be closed already. Let me just do that. So you have some place to work at. Okay, yes, Polymarket trading proposed by me, chosen by me. Really cool. So here you have proposed new topics, like whatever you want to see as a new topic for voting, put it here. I will immediately create a new topic just for the season 3. I don't know, maybe you will have some cool ideas meanwhile. I don't know how long will this season last, to be honest. So far I like it a lot. I think I would like to have it like long as possible. We'll see. Maybe I'll get tired. Yeah, our cool vector search. You can see that here. Okay, season 3 ideas. And yeah, why not? Let's just create immediately another topic as well for the next episode. I don't know. I hope you guys will come and propose something. If not, it's okay. Season 3, episode 2. Episode 3. Oh my god, sorry. Season 2, episode 3, ideas. Whatever comes up to your mind, guys, like, just drop it here. We'll take a look. All right, let's go back. So yeah, what I was telling, if you would like to see me reverse engineering Polygon like down to the bytecode, just let me know. I can do that. I've been doing that like for the last 7 years. So this is like interesting. I think I might even did that on Polymarket like a couple of years ago, but don't remember, to be honest. And yeah, so let's go back. Let's not distract from what we started here. So as you can see here, there were trades settled, and as you remember, we purchased a position at 108, and we received some position. Yeah, we see here the NFTs, ERC 1155. Yeah, this is an interesting topic. Let's discuss it a little bit. So we received basically one. We should have received one position. Let's see. Yeah, it's here. And someone else probably received the opposite position, or Negri CTF exchange. Okay. Okay. So it was, I guess, a secondary market. Nice, really cool. I'll explain you everything. Let me just, process that. I'm gonna show you something. Let me see if Miro is gonna be quickly available for me. I will be drawing you there. Not it. Oh, we have some visitors here. United States. Oh my god. That's cool. It got into spam. Okay, we have a Miro invitation. Let's go there. So yeah, let's just review what happened last time, right? Just to remember, so we can keep that all in our head. So let's see the history. So the history, we deposited $5. Then we purchased 12 shares at 9 cents of whether Real Madrid will win the Champions League. And we then immediately sold them for 8 cents, basically losing 1 cent per share. 1 cent times 12 equals 12 cents. So that's why we are minus 12 cents right now. So you see that, right? So what I did here is I created a limit order, and here I created a market order to get rid of what I was holding. And we will probably, yeah, not probably, I think 100% we're gonna dive deeper into that just in a few minutes. But basically the market, as far as I understood so far, the market and limit order are the same. It's only the question how it's gonna get executed at the point. And actually, the thing is that they decide whether it's a market or limit order, I think, but we will see that. So I posted purchasing of a yes, so I paid something and I received something, right? Bought here. So I received the position, and you can see that here. So this is our wallet, which is as you already know, created specifically for our, like, this is our Polygon wallet. So basically, yeah, let's just start typing. Teacher student, kind of. Work. Yeah. Come on. Too much. Okay, let's just continue. Skip for now. Okay. Let's create something where we are gonna be drawing most of the time. Keep using. Got so many setups, just open it. Can do that later. Okay. So I'm gonna go and close and remove it. Okay, maybe it can help us. Oh, fuck it. Do it manually. Time for this. Shapes. Okay. So what we have here is our Web3 wallet, right? Or private key wallet. This is something that that you have, like MetaMask or this Rabby or whatever else. Like there are plenty of those, and what yeah, like it cannot, for many reasons which probably we're not going to be discussing now. Maybe if you need answer to that, just reach out to the comments. But it cannot be automated fully. Like this is a private key, you hold the private key, and the Polymarket cannot use your private key without having it, right? So this is why they create an abstraction. They create wallet abstraction, and let's call it Polymarket wallet. So what they do is they take your wallet and they take your wallet as one of the owners, and they put their own wallet as one of the owners. This is gonna be Polymarket abstraction wallet, and this is gonna be Polymarket system wallet. So this wallet is yours. This is the one that you use to deposit funds, sign in, approve everything, approve your trade, sign your trade, and so on. And this one is like a co-signer usually. So what they do is they take one signature from you, they prepare second signature from them, and they just push them both into this wallet and execute that, like, and they send the transaction to the blockchain, right? So let's just it will be more understandable like this, visually separated. User, really like Miro from a long time. Very cool to explain stuff. Change the colors. Okay, and this is a Polymarket. And this is supposed to be the central. Okay, so this is Polygon. Let's just make it Polygon colored, like that. This is gonna be, I don't know, gray. Yeah. Yeah, so you can see here that our wallet is controlling this wallet and this wallet, the Polymarket system wallet, also controlling the abstraction wallet, and then abstraction wallet sends the transactions to the blockchain. So this is exactly what we see here. So this is my wallet. Where is it? This is my wallet, which initially sent 5 USDC to some relay. We will figure out later what is this. I don't know yet. I assume I have some assumptions, but I'm not. I don't know like 400%. So and then they when we logged in here, they created for us this proxy, this safe proxy factory. They created safe proxy, and this is basically the Polymarket abstraction wallet. And then later, as you can see, they deposited the funds that we initially deposited to some relayer. They just transferred it to the to the to the abstraction wallet. And then all the manipulations with the funds were done with the abstraction wallet. This is the purchase. So like what I'm looking at here is the basically token transfers of the USDC. All of them, like you can see the spam here, but just don't you ever interact with that, even don't read that. Like if you don't recognize the transaction, it means it's not for you. And yeah, so here we have this purchase transaction, as you can see. 108 was sent, and 0.96 was received. And these are the purchasing and the liquidation transactions, what we did on Polygon, as I shown you here. So what happened under the hood is that when we purchased, this is our wallet, right? We sent this 1.8 to Polymarket, and then Polymarket sent it to another wallet. I assume this wallet is another trader on Polymarket. And we will see, you will see why I'm talking about it right now. Probably just give me a second. And this user is basically sent us his position. So we just purchased this position from someone else. Someone else already held 12, right? Yeah, here you have it. Like I think 6 decimals. Yeah, it's 6 decimals, so they can split the positions up to the 6 decimals like USDC or you does. I think maybe it's better for the precision like that. And so basically you can see here that this user received the funds from us through the Polymarket, and this user sent us his position. Like this is exactly the same token ID through the Polymarket, and it's sent to us. So we were holding this position as an NFT basically. And yeah, so this format ERC1155 is like a mixture of ERC20 and NFTs and ERC721. Let me find maybe some interesting pictures. I've been working on that token standard for 7 years already with it, and there are really cool explanations for that. One second. Let me see something else. We worked on a similar standard a lot of years before. Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, so this picture basically explains it perfectly. So ERC 1155 is basically as it performs like an NFT and like non-fungible and fungible token at the same time. So here vertically, it represents that it can be interexchanged. Like, you know, one token is with the same ID is actually interexchangeable with another one. There is no difference basically. So you give me one position, like one yes on Real Madrid, I give you one yes on Real Madrid, they're exactly the same. But there could be many others, like there could be no on Real Madrid, or there could be yes on Arsenal, and so on and so on. So this is what the non-fungibility part is doing here. So basically each row, each column here represents a different type of position, and each row is just the position itself, and you can have as many as do you want of them. And this is why, yeah, so this is done just, you know, to be, in order to make it easier, because they just have this one token deployed, and all the operations are happening within that token. We will see also deeper in the future, maybe they deploy one per market, or maybe they deploy one per all the markets, which will be much more, I think, much better solution, because as it won't have any liquidity fractionality and so on and so on. So you just can easily you can just easily I don't know, reuse that token in many places. It will be very beneficial. Yeah, I don't know, like Polygon scan and Polygon in general is just a very slow thing, so sometimes it just doesn't work. But looking at the amount of holders here, 1 million, 1.5 million holders here means that most likely this is the token that's being used for all the markets. Probably that's why it doesn't load, because there is a shit ton of transactions in there. So yeah, so you can see here what happened is we just purchased this position, this token, this yes, 12 yes tokens we purchased from some guy, which is called 21064 and so on and so on. Let's take a look at him or her, them, I don't know. And yeah, they hold some money, and they actually do some transactions. So maybe they're just actively trading, maybe it's some kind of market maker. Yeah, as you can see, all of the transactions happening here is the transaction with the Polymarket, which means that more likely this guy is an arbiter, like, I don't know, either arbitrager or market maker or both, or like definitely does the bot trading in there. Like, as you can see, it's too many trades here. So we're gonna be there soon. And let's go back. So let's see what happened with our positions when we liquidated them, right? That's interesting. Were we selling that to someone else? I think so, because we used the market order. Yeah, you can see here. So this guy paid us 96 cents, and we transferred our position to him. So basically, it's that's called a secondary market, and this is a big issue, and really interesting how they solved it. Will be really interesting to see that in the future, because like I've been working actually on similar system. I've been working on a similar system on the project that I was contributing to in building the Opium network, and it's actually also the prediction market, but less more generalized, I would say, because Polymarket is basically a subtraction or subset of features what Opium has, and yeah, let me explain you here what's the primary and what's the secondary market. We're gonna dive into that as well in the future. So imagine like this is user 1, and this is user 2. When they come together, like when like this guy wants to bet let's create a Polymarket here. So this guy comes to Polymarket and says, I want yes on Real Madrid, right? A little here. I want yes on Real Madrid, and this guy comes and says I want no on Real Madrid. So what we have here is like our like this is step one. Let's just type it. Step one, 0 liquidity. Imagine the order book is empty. That was written in the documentation, if you remember last time, right? They said like the every market comes with an empty liquidity, empty order book. So basically, it's all up to the market makers to fill it in, and yeah, as you can see here, there is no one in there. So basically, what these guys do is this guy says, "I want yes on Real Madrid." Let's say it will pay, I don't know, like 20 cents. Let's put it like this. And this guy says, I want no on Real Madrid and pays 80. So what happens here is that Polymarket takes these two amounts, which adds up to $1, right? Which is like the most important rule of this whole system. And it releases the positions. It basically mints them. We can see who minted and when for the first time this position, but you will see now. Like, let me just explain it first. So we mint yes here, and we mint no here. So basically, Polymarket holds this $1 and just creates the tickets for user 1 and user 2, and for their desires. This must add up to $1. Couldn't be more, couldn't be less. Should be exactly $1. And if there is more, it's like an arbitrage opportunity again. So they're always easily fixable. And here we see this is called primary market. This is where when there is a zero liquidity on the order book, so basically no one have ever created the positions for that yet, or there are like none of them available on the market, and there are two guys who come to the order book and they have the opposite desires. This is when Polymarket can say, okay guys, just pay me this and that, like whatever you want to bet on these outcomes. I'd have to add up to $1 again, right? And then I will mint you your positions, yes and no. So this is gonna be like here on the Polymarket, these two new positions are gonna be just two different token IDs here, two different NFTs basically sent to these guys. So now let's say Real Madrid won a couple of games and their share became more expensive on the market, right? So let's say step 2, some liquidity, secondary market. I'll just explain you how this happened, that we were just reusing someone else's position at the end. So user 1 comes and says, I don't want yes on Real Madrid anymore. And he says like, I want a 30 cents for that. Let's revert here. No, sorry. So here, there is another guy, user 3, who comes in and says, oh my god, Real Madrid is winning. I really want that position, right? So he says, I want yes on Real Madrid. And he's willing to pay 30 cents, say, or like even 31, right? Gonna be cool. So here, then what Polymarket does is, instead of like, you know, there is some liquidity, but there is like one guy who wants to get rid of his position, another guy who wants to get that position basically, why don't we just connect them both and transfer the position and the money between them without like having to create new positions, you know, because creating new positions on Polymarket is just additional hassle. It's like additional gas cost, which is meaningless right now, but it's also additional information that's being created on blockchain that you need to index and get and so on. And it just makes sense, you know, to like, it doesn't make any sense to use some other user to create new position for this one if there is this guy. Like, they might prioritize it. For example, this guy wants to get rid of his position for 30 cents, and there is another one who wants to do that for 29. Why don't they like, or like there is another one who says like, I want no on Real Madrid for 29 or 80, what's gonna be 79, right? So instead of like, one of them is more profitable, so I guess Polymarket order book will just pick what's more profitable for all of these users. Like, they should always act in the basically in the efficiency of every participant and the market itself. They might take this money to themselves. We don't know yet. Let's see what we will see in the documentation, right, which should start. So what happens here in that case is when the secondary market is executed here, it says I don't want my yes, I just want 30 cents for that, and I want yes, and I can pay 31 cents here. So what happens here is it transfers like that. It transfers yes to Polymarket, and Polymarket transfers yes to this user. Right? And this one is getting money, and this one is paying money. Yep. So this is what happens. Yeah. So here they both create. Here they just exchange. What else is there? There is also a liquidation, which doesn't have to be actually with the second counterparty already. So let's say, let's remove the user one. He's now not holding any positions, right? So step 3 is there is some liquidity, or like event finished, event ended, liquidation or redemption. It's more like a redemption than liquidation. So how redemption works here is user 3, like, imagine, Real Madrid wins. Imagine Real Madrid wins. Then user 3 comes and says, I want my money on Real Madrid. And it receives $1. Exactly. Because Real Madrid won. And his position is burning. Burn yes. So as you can see here, like the life cycle of any token, more or less any token, yeah, let's like not be super strict here, is the minting of the token, transferring of the token, and burning of the token. So here you can see the life cycle of the position. This is my assumption for now, so I'm gonna go back to that and change if something is wrong. I told you all this all based on my previous experience and on my project that I worked on before, that basically are similar, that what I told you before. So this is how it worked, and this is how it should work more or less. I think like most of the projects actually they work the same way. So let's go back now to the documentation. Like I hope you understand now what happened here. So far for our 2 transactions, since we were working with the order book already and we saw the orders there, right? And we wanted to and we were not like, it was not the zero liquidity order book, and we were and we were basically purchasing already existing and repositioned, and then we just sold it to someone else. So we haven't burned or we haven't minted anything here. But if we were not about to sell that and we would wait like until the end of the Champion League, which is like when 31st of May 2026, then we could have redeemed that and burned our position for whatever payout there is. Like it's gonna be either 0 or $1 per share, as you know already. Okay, so this is all interesting, and let me just write some to do. As you remember, we have some to do here, what we need to do in the stream. So for sure we are not gonna cover the safe proxy factory and safes here, but maybe we will dive deep into abstract wallets. I will write it here for the future, and yeah, we will see. We will be discussing that, or maybe we can just make a separate topic, because like, you know, Gnosis Safe, or like how it's called, Safe Wallet now, is a really nice and interesting topic. I love it a lot. I know like every bit of it, and I am a big fan of it. And if you would like to learn about that, we can make even special season about that as well. But I don't know, like we will see if there is fit. Like I think there is a lot of actually good material on how it works, and but if you wish me explaining that, I can do this. Maybe we can do like, you know, quick one episode, like DeFi special or something like this. Not for Christmas, for sure. Christmas is after tomorrow. Yeah, and actually welcome my Christmas tree. Not fully decorated yet, but I just set it up yesterday. And yeah, also I'm having the squared camera now, so it's gonna be easier for me to do some post-production. And also you will see my cats now back again. Okay, so let's close all our transactions. We don't need them for now. We will leave the mirror open, and let's go back to the code base that was generated. So here you can see there is a host. This is basically the API endpoint for the Polymarket server. Funder is the address listed below your profile picture, which is like our abstract wallet. That's what they call the funder, I guess. Maybe they just call it in the script. We'll see. We are gonna be using their terms, of course, because it's gonna be easier to debug and work with, and look for documentation, and especially like give commands to the AI if you just call the things by their names. So in general, don't derive a new API key. Always derive or don't create new API key. Always derive or create or derive one. Okay, I don't know what that means yet. Like I just have some assumptions. We will see, but basically, yeah, they create the client, they pass host, they pass this is a chain ID 137 is for Polygon, it's a constant. And signer is basically the Web3 provider with the private key enabled. So signer is actually our Web3 wallet in this schema here. Private key wallet. This is the signer, and this is the founder. So what they need that is because the founder needs to sign the commands and send it to the Polygon server, which will sign them here with their system wallet and then execute them on the on chain. I wonder actually how fast it happens, because I did not last time see if something happened on our wallet immediately after we purchased those or sold them. I think they do settlement like separately after a while, but we'll see that in the future as well. Okay, so what we have here, is we are creating these credentials, basically some kind of API keys, signature type. I don't know what it is, just some versioning, internal versioning, I guess, and the founder wallet. Okay, and here create and post order. So this is that simple actually. You just have the URL, the token ID. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, the token ID. This is exactly what I showed you about this token. So token ID is basically this yes or no on particular market. So I suppose it's gonna be something like I don't know, like token ID is a hash function of market ID and plus yes, yeah, you see the suggestions here, and plus no, yeah, something like that. This is how it usually works. So it's always unique, represents the position itself and the market. The price, the size, fee rate. I don't know why, because they said they don't have any fees. We'll see. Maybe it's like for the third-party integrations. And tick size, neg risk. You'll need to adjust these based on the market. Get tick size and reg risk from the get markets above. Okay. So there is some kind of endpoint which you should fetch before you place orders, and these more likely represent the configuration of the market. So we will dive deeper into that. Okay. And here is also the last is the order type, which is like GTC. GTC is good till cancel, means we throw the order in the order book. If it's not gonna get picked up by the other side, so there is like no market fail possibility, then it will just stay on the order book and wait for its time unless someone comes in and fills it. So yeah, pretty easy. You see here just some constant, some preparation, client initialization, and the order creation function. I wonder what's all this doing, what all the data it has, and so on. We'll dive deeper into that, of course, when we'll start coding. Looking at the time and my previous estimations, which are becoming better and better, we are definitely not going to be coding today. But we need a lot of theory before we start coding, right? We don't want to lose money. We don't want to just, I don't know, get hacked or whatever. We want to understand what we are doing. That's why we need to properly look at all this. Okay, so let me close that and let's go back here to the documentation. In addition to detailed comments in the code snippets, here are some more tips to help you get started. See the Python example. Okay, don't care. When buying into a market, you purchase a token. That token represents either yes or no outcome. Okay, we've covered that already. And to easily get required tokens pairs for a given event, we have provided an interactive endpoint here. Get markets, exactly the same one that we already saw. Okay, we will come back to that for sure. Somewhere here. The navigation in their documentation is very bad. Like you can't ever see what page are you at. Only these main pages, I guess. Okay, there are so many references to this one. I'll just close it. I think we're gonna find it later. Okay, so common pitfalls is neg risk. Markets require an additional flag on order args. Okay, we're gonna figure out later. Invalid signature error key due to one of the following: incorrect founder or private key. Risk flag in your order arguments. Okay, not enough balance allowance. Not enough USDC to perform the trade. See the formula. Okay, well. Okay, so that's all clear so far. Let's go ahead and continue. Oh yeah, so this is the terms. That's what I was talking about. We are gonna have to learn those and use those in our code base and in our communication with AI, because AI is only trained on these ones. Like it will understand you, but like get more efficient and optimized response from AI, you gotta talk more like as efficient as possible to it, right? So token, it represents a stake in a specific yes/no outcome in the market. Price of a token can fluctuate between 0 and 1 based on the market belief in the outcome. When the market resolves, the token associated with the correct prediction can be redeemed for 1 USDC. This is also sometimes called an asset ID. Exactly. And like a token ID as well. And market, a single event outcome corresponds to a pair of CLOB tokens. We will learn what's that. Central limit order book. Yes, no, a market address, a question ID, and condition ID. Yeah, so there is more than that. So that's what I told you. There is like a market ID. Okay, market address. So probably actually they deploy each market separately. We will see that. We will see that. Question ID, condition ID. Yeah. Condition ID, I think, is because they don't only offer like yes or no, but they can also like have multiple possible answers. So not like always yes or no. It could be like yes, no, maybe, or something like this. Or like if you bet on the outcome of this of the match, like this could be like either, I don't know, 1-1 or 0-0 score or 3-3 score. So they could be many different conditions. Event, a collection of related markets grouped under a common topic or theme. Interesting. Okay, so basically this is like the Real Madrid match is called an event. Yeah, you can see that in the URL here. It's an event, and the probably then the Arsenal is a market, and then this market has several order books with several outcomes. More likely, we'll see. It's just my perception on it right now. Plug. A human readable identification for the market or event can be found in the URL of Polymarket market or event. Yeah, here's this one. So as you can see, will Real Madrid win? Like UEFA Champions League winner is the event slug, and will Real Madrid win Championship League is the market slug. So it's like this. Right? So, negative risk. A group of markets event in which only one market can resolve as yes. Neg risk. Okay, so this is what this neg risk. We will see the neg risk details later, I guess, when we will come to that. Central limit order book, the off-chain order matching system. This is where you place resting orders and market orders are matched with existing orders before being sent on chain. Polygon network, a scalable multi-chain blockchain platform. Okay, we know all that. Let's go. API rate limits. That's interesting. So how rate limit works is for using Cloudflare's throttling system. When you exceed the maximum configuration rate of an endpoint, requests are throttled rather than immediately rejected. This means throttling. Requests over the limit are delayed and queued rather than dropped. Cool. That's cool. Burst allowances. Some endpoints allow short bursts above the sustained rate. That's also cool. Sometimes you need that. Time windows. Limit resets based on sliding time windows. 10 seconds per minute. Okay. So general rate limiting is 15,000 requests per 10 seconds. And then throttling. Okay, endpoint 100 requests per 10 seconds and then throttling. Okay, endpoint is probably something like a status. And there are all the endpoints here. Okay. Data API rate limit. Okay, I think we are gonna be setting those on our system later. Just need to know that they exist. We don't have to cover all of them now. I don't think we will ever do. I think you just need to like know that they are here. Probably they are even available in the SDK. This is important because if you build your system in mind and you won't consider that there is a rate limiting, then it just won't work as intended. Okay, so let's go to endpoints. What they have here is this CLOB, their order book endpoint. This is a data API, so probably just for reads. Conditional endpoint that delivers user data holdings and on-chain activities. This one is actually pretty slow if they use the same on the UI. But actually, yesterday when we, the last time when we created the position, it actually pretty quickly was reflected on my positions page, because when I do that from mobile and especially during the football matches, then it just hangs. So I think it I don't know, maybe it's just a matter of the load on the server, or it's just a matter of the client we're using. We're gonna see that, I think, ourselves, whether there's gonna be any delay here. WebSocket, nice, awesome. So we can have immediate updates on the database, on the order book, I'm sorry. Here, real-time data socket, real-time data streaming, including crypto prices and comments. All right, we'll see what's that as well. Okay, so we went through the basics. Let's go ahead. Polymarket builder program. What's that? That's something for us, right? We are builders here. Maybe that for the integrations that build on top of the Polymarket. Remember what I showed you at the beginning. Builder is the person, group, organization that routes orders from their users to Polymarket. Okay, we are not builders. We are users. If you've created a platform that allows users to trade on Polymarket via your system, the program is for you. Let's read through that quickly. Why not? Interesting. Relayer access all on-chain operations are gasless through our relayer. Get credited for orders and compete for grants. Yeah, maybe that's why they had this fee set up in there. Yeah, fee share, because you can set up fees. Like, they don't take fees by themselves, but I think if you set up a fee, then they just take a fraction of it. So it is possible to trade directly. Like you see here, EOA is basically what we have here. Gotta just internally owned account. So basically without any abstraction. This is not an EOA, but this one is EOA. So it's possible to trade on the blockchain directly with this one, basically like this, mitigating the abstraction wallet, as I see. This looks decentralized. Go. So, okay. We don't need all this. If you want me to cover that, please go to Stream Saga and propose that. But I'm not planning to build any app on top of Polymarket for now. I don't want to deal with users or anything. It's quite a hassle. So we are gonna be just users. So let's just go and proceed with the rest. The rest of it, like the centralized limit order book. Central limit order book is the next topic. I'll be quickly reading through that to not read everything to you, and I'll be just shortly explaining stuff that must be explained. So they take 0 fees for now. Not gonna be forever, believe me. They're just accumulating volumes right now. Then they will turn on the plug and it will start printing them billions. Okay, since there is 0 fees, probably we shouldn't just read through that. Like there is some formula for this. I don't think we need that at the time. Status page. This is interesting. Let's take a look. So they have status page for all of their APIs with the incidents and everything. So something happened today. Okay, the same problem every day. Or a couple of times a day actually. Subgraphs. Yeah, this is a big hard thing to work on. But there are many solutions to actually just get rid of subgraphs. But it's not our job to do this, right? Let's just know that we have this page here when you can always check if something goes wrong, API doesn't work or whatever. First thing you come here and you see if it's here, it means it's not your fault, more likely. If it's not here, it means something is buggy in your code. Then you need to find the bug instead of going to their Discord or whatever and screaming that something doesn't work. And let's go to quick start. So we have this client already that we saw. We have this already nicely done with this process env. Nice, good job. So initialization, we saw that already. Signature types, this is interesting. So EOA, basically the account with the private key, has a signature type 0. It means that we just signed whatever there is. Probably there is a signature function here. Let me see. No, there is not. But there is one in Miser wallet. But yeah, we will not do that. Okay, let's just say you just signed with your private key with your wallet right directly, and you just pass 0. So then the order book can know how to determine which signature type did you use. And custom proxy is 1, specific to Magic Link users from Polymarket only, and Gnosis Safe is 2. This is what we use. Injected providers. Okay. Place an order. We saw that. Check your orders is get open orders, get trades. So this is basically combination. Order could always become a trade. So you need to like take a look at both of them depending on your trading logic, of course. And the complete example, we've seen that already. There are some errors that might happen. We are not going to be looking through them now, because when they will happen, we'll just come back to this documentation and try to find it. All right, authentication. This is understanding authentication using the Polymarket's CLOB. Two levels of authentication: private key and API key. Either can be accomplished using the CLOB client REST API. Authentication is not required to access client public methods and public endpoints. Okay, so basically we can build the monitoring tools without any authentication. It's only needed for mutations or for some private data. Polymarket is different from REST API. Well, the thing is, I mean, these are two different things. Like, Polymarket does have REST API, as you can see here. We will get to that in a bit. But REST API is basically the standard how you communicate, and most of the project they integrate that. This is like most common standard basically. So yeah, it's like it is different. Yeah, it's a different thing. But Polymarket is a project, and the REST API, like, I don't know, like, I don't. I'm sorry if I got your question wrong. You can just, I don't know, maybe rephrase that. But yeah, it is different thing. And the REST API is like this basic specification how it works, like how do you make a request and in which form do you receive a response and how you should like read that response and so on. So yeah. Okay, where we were, the quick start, the authentication, right? So let's take a look how the authentication works. L1 authentication uses the wallet's private key to sign in the E712 message. It proves ownership and control over the private key. Okay, makes sense. And what this enables, access to L1 method that create or derive L2 authenticated header. Okay, so we have to like implement L1 first, and then L2 will be on top of that, but that makes sense. Create or derive API key. The credential will consist of this API key, the secret, and the passphrase. Never commit private keys to version control. Yeah. Yes, like, definitely never commit private keys to version control. Once you do this, all your money will be swiped immediately, especially if it's an open source project, because there is a constant amount, like there is a plenty amount of bots and scammers and hackers who monitor all the information space, and whenever they see something that looks like a private key, they just take your wallet and drain it immediately. We highly recommend user-owned provided clients to handle signing and authentication. The following developers would choose not to use Python and TypeScript. So basically, if we are gonna get to what we discussed before, to Rust at some point, then we won't be able to use the SDK because there is none, and that's why we are gonna have to use the REST API, basically the API over each, like the plain API where we will have to like write the typing around it ourselves. But for the TypeScript, there is a library which you saw already, so we are good to go for now. What we're gonna use in anyway. And here is some specification what it does under the hood. So basically, just sends the post request, and then sends the get request. And the L2, the next level of the authentication is called L2. It consists of either API credential, secret, passphrase generated from L1. These are used solely to authenticate requests made to the CLOB API. Requests are signed using this cryptography, and what this enables access to L2 methods such as posting signed orders, viewing open orders, canceling. So basically, yeah, let's see. So it needs to be passed to the clients, these credentials. All right, go. And methods overview. Let's get to the public methods first. Wait, what's here is also client initialization by use case. Get the market data. You don't need to. Yeah, so this is a different type of clients. To get the market data, you don't need any authentication. You can just create a client on this constants basically, and just make requests for the markets, for the order books, for the prices, whatever that's interesting to you, interests you. And here is what we saw already. Then you can just add the signer and then create API keys, derive those, and then after you done this, you can authenticate with those and create another client, I guess. So this is like a different type of client. And you will be able to call private methods, which are get trades, post order, create order, and there is a get builders order. Orders is something for third-party integrations, I guess. Yeah, we don't need those. This is basically for the builders to retrieve all of the orders that go through their account. As you know, like they just use some kind of referrals or whatever, however you call it, basically. So yeah, so let's take a look at the public methods available. Oh my god, there's plenty of them. The REST API here is probably as big as this list. Okay, let me quickly skim through all these pages. I'll just understand the structure, so I will be able to explain that to you in a more convenient way. Okay, I think we just need to go ahead and just read through all these. Okay, let's see the public methods. We'll just be doing that quickly, I think. So these are public methods. They do not require any authentication. That's why you can see here, once again, the client creation is without any credentials and private keys or whatever. So the health check is just, I guess, getting this endpoint, calling it, which returns OK, which is just calling the... Getting a OK means we can communicate with that server. Good thing to make a periodical health checks on the counterparty on your bot to understand that like you shouldn't whether you should or shouldn't perform any, I don't know, calculations, mutations, whatever you are planning to do with your trading bot. If the market is not working, then it doesn't make any sense to prepare all that and shut down your bot. And so get market is get details for a single market by condition ID. What's condition ID? Not explained here yet. Condition ID explained here on the Conditional Token Framework. Let's probably then review that before we review the API. So all outcomes on Polymarket are tokenized on the Polygon network. Specifically, Polymarket outcomes shares are binary outcomes, yes and no, using Gnosis Conditional Token Framework, CTF. Yeah, that's what I researched before. Sure. So they did not build any protocol themselves. They just used something that was there already. Conditional Token Framework, the Gnosis. Actually pretty old as far as I know. I mean, old good. Old doesn't mean bad. Blockchain, especially old, means good if it hasn't been hacked yet. So they're distinct ERC1155 tokens related to a parent condition and backed by the same collateral. More technically, the binary outcome tokens are referred into as position IDs. In Gnosis documentation, position IDs are derived from a collateral token, and distinct collection IDs. Collection IDs are derived from parent collection IDs, always 32 bytes in our case. Okay, always 32 zeros, 0 bytes in their case, and the condition ID is a unique index set. Oh my god, too many. Index set is a 256 bit array denoting which outcome slot are in the outcome collection. Must be a non-empty proper subset of conditions outcome slots. In the binary case we are interested in, there are two index sets, one for the first outcome and one for the second. The first outcome index set is 0b01, which is just 1 bit, and the second one is 0b10, which is 2 and 2 bits. The parent condition ID shared by both collection ID and therefore position ID is derived from a question ID, a hash of the UMA, ancillary data, and Oracle. Yeah. So condition ID is like Oracle, question ID, and outcome slot count, which is 2. This is basically the all the parameters of the UMA, as you can see, of the UMA, and this is just how you calculate the let's read more about this. Probably we have okay, so this is not part of UMA, this is part of Gnosis, but what they use inside is part of the arguments for the UMA. Oracle is the account assigned to report the result for the prepared condition, identifier for the question to be answered. Okay, this is who answers, this is what's the question, and this is the number of outcomes. And the result is hash and ID. Parent collection ID is 0 here all the time. Condition ID is derived from 1. So basically from Oracle and a question, and the potential outcomes, which is like 2, yes or no, usually here. And index set is, yeah, and index set is basically just either 1 or 0, or 1 or 2, which means like yes or no, I guess. And position ID is the hash of collateral token, which is USDC in their case all the time. And collection ID is basically 2 different collection IDs here. That represents either yes or no. Okay, so this is like, I think, market, and this is the position hash, and this is the position ID, something like this. Like this is, I mean, this is how I put it in my head and how I want to visualize it and understand it. Okay, let's go back and try to understand this API. So yeah, get market is basically market ID or condition ID, I guess. It's just a market. Let me open that again just separately so I have it always under my hand. Market just returns the bunch of them. Get simplified markets. Paginated response. They don't have any descriptions for those. I told you guys we are gonna have to probably, like, these are not super important endpoints and they just use it for themselves, but yeah, I told you we are gonna have to reverse engineer a lot here as usual in Web3. So this is what we will be doing too. I don't know like what this sampling means. Probably this is like some professional term for, I don't know, trading or betting, but I don't know about it anything, so well, let's skip that for now. Calculate market price. Okay, so this is to understand at which price you're gonna get executed if you send a market order, I guess. Again, there is no description. Maybe in the REST version they have descriptions. Yeah, they do have it here. So let's just open it as well, like next to each other. So calculate market price. Receives the market price for a specific token and side. And here we actually can specify the amount. So basically, you know, as the, let's open something. As you basically take orders from the order book, the more amount you take, the worse price becomes usually. And this is why this method also, like this one just tells you the price of the, basically, like you see it's a get method. Probably it only has side and token ID, and it doesn't have the amount. So basically you won't be able to understand whether you can feel actually for this price. Probably there is a method for this, I don't know, but this method supposedly should calculate if you can actually feel the amount, or like if you specify the amount there, you can actually know whether it will be at which price it will be filled if you just throw it away, you know, right now. Get order book gets us order book summary. This is many order books. You can just specify many params. Get current best price. Same for multiple. Midpoint price, which is, I guess, the market price there. Multiple midpoints, get the spread. It tells you the difference between the lowest ask and highest bid. Wow, this is cool to get the price, historical price data for a token. I wonder. Yeah, this is cool. This could be used for many things, like, I don't know, predictions, this AI or something, or like just, you know, Also, you can do. Oh my god. Yeah, I should definitely stop doing the streams at 8 or 7 p.m. because my head just stops working at the time. One second. Yeah, sorry, this is like me being stupid, but it's called backtesting. This is when you get the historical data and you can run your algorithm or strategy on the historical data and check whether it like performs as you as intended, as you want it to perform, and so on. Very cool, and we can do that as well depending on the strategy. If like, yeah, if market allows you, or if historical data allows you to test your strategy, of course it makes sense to make it the backtesting first, and actually to like always perform backtesting. Okay, so trades, get the trade price, trades prices, market trade events, something I don't know about. Okay, this is all the trades that's happening on the market. All right, gotcha. Market parameters, fee rate, BPS, which require should be 0 all the time, but you need to check that as well. So like if you make an assumption that there are 0 fees on Polymarket, which they are right now, you can just always, when you start your bot, or periodically when your board is live, up and running, check this number, and if you don't implement fees, that's what we are not going to be doing, for example, then you need to make sure that this fee is still 0. Otherwise you just cannot trade. Your logic won't work. You need to make sure that your fees are 0 before you trade, like if you consider that, of course, if you consider that in your strategy. Get the tick size, basically tells you how minimum price requirements, so like how fraction price could be, or like the minimum price could be. The neg risk is check if your market uses negative risk binary complementary tokens. Yeah, this we will get to that later. Time server info. Yeah, I guess this is cool to check just if your code is not getting crazy. Okay, cool. We went through the public methods already. So L1 methods is basically just for key management, as far as I understand. Yep. Just to create keys. Okay, so you can create orders with that. So yeah, I guess if you trade with your private key, this is the thing you need to authenticate and use the first layer, like L1 method for the order book. But if you remember last video, I was actually talking that about that if you cancel the order, you have to do it on chain. So basically, I think it's different for L1 and L2 methods. If you posted your order through L1 method, then the only way to cancel it's on chain. Like this is my assumption for now. So not sure yet if whether it's true or not. Okay, so let's go to L2 methods. L2 methods are much more rich here. So what you can do is you create and post order immediately. probably handles everything for you. Just specify the order, the options, and the type. I saw somewhere there was a description. Yeah, here. Here are different order types that are available. We already talked about GTC. It's a good till cancel, which means the order is sent and being in the order book unless you cancel it explicitly. Then FOK is fill or kill. It means you throw the order, and whether it's like depending on whether it if it fails, it fails. If it not, it just getting killed. So it means like if there is no a counterparty order that you could be matched with immediately, it just gets rid out of the order book, so it does not participate in the matching engine anymore. GTD is a good till date, so this is basically like or expiration orders. You just send the order, you specify it must be filled before tomorrow morning or something like this, like or you can specify like 3 hours or 3 minutes. So if it's not filled within 3 minutes, you can just it just gets canceled immediately. And fill and kill, so these probably I don't remember exactly, but I think fill or kill and kill depend on whether this one should be filled fully and this one can be filled partially. I think this is my assumption again. We'll see. Okay, so let's back to order creation. So here is the limit order, I guess, because you can specify price here. And here is the market order. You can also specify price here, but it's not required, and I don't know why. Convenience method that creates a prompt signature and posts an order in a single call. Use when you want to buy, sell right now at whatever the market price is. So when you need to get rid of your position, liquidate them immediately. That's the way to do. And create and post order. This one, if you want to buy, sell a specific price and can wait. Yeah. So you can see here, you can also specify the order type. And this is like basically, I think, combination of several orders, like create and post. And I think they have, as you can see here, different methods. So post order, if you have a pre-signed, so basically create and post, you need to like create an order, create a structure for it, and then you need to sign it with your private key first, and then you can post it to the order book. And the first two methods, they basically do that all under the hood. And here you can just do it manually. For example, you prepare the order upfront and you have the order signature, and you can just like, I don't know, hold it in your database or whatever, and whenever you need to just pull it up and use and post it. So it's the same but with many orders. Here is the cancellation, same as many, cancel all, so you can just, you know, immediately get out of all your positions. Cancel market orders, so it's like cancel all but for a specific market, I guess. So this get orders just to check the statuses, I think. Yeah, these are read and they are under L2 because you need to be authorized to be, in order to be able to, you know, read all your orders. One gets a trade, so this one trades are already happened. Trades paginated. This is very useful. Get balance and allowance, so basically you can see how much, what's your balance, and whether you approved your tokens to be traded on the platform. Update balance allowance, so this one I guess just triggers the allowance. So if you don't have the allowance set, you can just call this one and it will call your wallet or your provider that you connected and will trigger the allowance transaction. This is what we did at the beginning, in the last episode. If you remember, we clicked like when we logged in, we made a couple of clicks where basically we just deployed this wallet that we just saw at the beginning of this video, and also we approved our tokens to be spendable on Polymarket. Delete API key, just revoking the keys. All right. Okay, so here there are also notifications, some kind of notifications. We will also dive deeper into that later. And builder methods, we are not gonna look at them, and they're just two. Okay. And REST API, I think it just has the same functionality that what we saw here. Okay, so here is the order management, but I think this is all gonna be repeating probably the same. We will get to that in the next episode. I think I'm gonna have to wrap up for today because it's already, the time is up already, and also I'm really tired, to be honest. I know it's not your problem, but I have to also adjust myself somehow. And thank you again for visiting my stream today. Thank you for watching, for questions, for suggestions. As usual, don't forget to have the streamsaga.space here available, where you can propose something for the next episode, for example, and for the next season. And you can propose what topics should I create as well in here for the voting. You can propose, you can vote, you can also go to the streaming framework repository and read about the stream again, what we've done on season 1. And also there is a link, there are many links actually on my GitHub, and on every platform you're watching me right now, there are links. There should be links now to everything. There is Linktree where you can just find everything you want, like YouTube, Telegram channel with the updates, my X, which is not being updated right now, but it will, my GitHub with all the projects we are working on, open sourced, and yeah, the rest of the platforms up to you. So just letting you know. And thank you again. I think I'm gonna connect tomorrow again, probably at the same time, at 6, like more likely at the same time at 6 p.m. Central European time. And it looks like we are almost finished with the documentation. I mean, there is still a lot of stuff, but probably we won't need to read all that. We got the basics, we got the basic functionality. It's actually pretty simple order book without any like hard things. So more likely tomorrow, depending on the time and how much material left there for the overview, we are gonna start coding, hopefully. If not, then the next episode. It's not a big problem. It's very important to understand what you are doing before you are starting doing that, especially when it's related to trading, money, and everything. Yeah, this is my approach. Even though like there are AIs could just go and do this all, but this is like how people lose money. This is not my approach. And yeah. So thank you again. See you tomorrow, and don't forget to put your likes and subscribes on all the platforms. Bye bye.